Alone.
We'll find out.
Wait, is it afraid of fire?
Huh?
Is that true? Is it afraid of fire?
Is he afraid of fire?
Yeah.
No.
Yo,
Okay.
they lied to me for
Guys,
years.
turn to chapter 8, page 54. Damien, turn to page 54.
Wait, is Frankenstein afraid of fire?
64?
The creature even? Mm-mm. 54. So basically, they found that William was dead, and now they're going to have a trial to convict the murderer. And remember Justine, who we talked about?
Yeah.
She's convicted as the murderer because she fell asleep, and when she woke up, she found the locket that was stolen in her pocket.
Oh my.
Hey, Ryan.
So she should
Lock
have
it in a pocket.
So she, and then when people asked her about it, she didn't remember what happened. She was really confused. She couldn't give people a good explanation of why the locket was in her pocket. So that was a rhyme. So anyways, so people are convicting her. So we'll do the trial. Who wants to be the jury?
Me.
I'll be the jury.
I'll be the judge.
Yeah, I want to be judge.
The jury's the one that decides.
I want
I'll
to
be the jury.
I want to be the
Welcome
jury.
back to Judge
Okay, James, Naloi,
And Damien.
Chloe, and Victor.
Wait, I want Damien to be on the jury.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching.
Damien should be on the jury when he actually takes it.
I was watching.
I was the first one to read.
Did you read
And it
seriously?
was
Yes.
Okay, guys, page
I didn't
55.
know
Oh,
that
wait,
was
where am I supposed to?
So just remain in your seats. You're gonna decide who's guilty and who's not, okay? Okay. So we're starting with the trial began. The trial began, and after the advocate against her had stated the charge, several witnesses were called. Several strange facts combined against her, which might have staggered anyone who had not such proof of her innocence as I had. She had been out of the whole night on which the murder had been committed, and towards morning had been perceived by a market woman not far from the spot where the body of the murdered child had been afterwards found. The woman asked her what she did there, but she looked very strangely and only returned a confused and unintelligible answer. She returned to the house about 8 o'clock, and when one inquired where she had passed the night, she replied that she had been looking for the child and demanded earnestly if anything had been heard concerning him. When shown the body, she fell into violent hysterics and kept her bed for several days. The picture was then produced, which the servant had found in her pocket. And when Elizabeth, in a faltering voice, proved that it had been the same which, an hour before the murdered child had missed, she had placed round her neck, a murmur of horror and indignation filled the court. So who wants to prosecute?
The
Justine.
mother.
Damien.
You want to be the lawyer who prosecutes her?
Yes, I'm
Basically
a very good lawyer.
convicts her? Okay, so why is she guilty? So you're prosecuting her.
Because she had a locket in her pocket.
Oh!
Okay, what other evidence?
Shots fired.
She has no idea what's going on.
Okay, we have
Hey,
several lawyers to help you.
Yeah, that's my side lawyer.
Okay, Remington, so
Lawyer.
what else?
She's my side lawyer.
The whole night, yeah, the night of the murder. And where was she
I have
found?
something to say.
James.
She was found like not very far from the murder scene.
Yeah,
Whoa.
so all
Thank you, side
all
lawyer.
evidence points to Justine, right? You know.
And then she went, the lady asked her, was like, wait, what were you doing over there? She was like, blah, 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 blah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, not very good defense, right?
Asleep.
Justine was
sleepwalk
called
in my
on her
sleep.
defense. As the trial proceeded, her countenance had altered.
Shakes.
Surprise, guys. Surprise, horror, and misery were strongly expressed. Sometimes she struggled with her tears. But when she was desired to plead, she collected her powers and spoke in an audible, although variable voice. God knows, she says, how entirely I am innocent. Who will be Justine? Read this. Can you do a good,
Blake, I think
a
Blake
good
can do it.
hysterical voice, Steve?
A good hysterical voice?
Yeah,
I got a
she's-
good hysterical voice. I got this.
Not a lot.
This is hysterical.
I too. So like she's like crying and afraid and like.
No, you should let Blake do it.
Let Blake. Yeah, let Blake do
Please
it.
let Blake do it.
Okay, Blake, will you do it?
Hysterical as in,
Like God knows how entirely I
hey,
am.
you seem better at it than me.
Oh. Oh.
Okay,
I
Blake,
believe
ready?
in you.
That'll get you.
I'm ready.
No, she can read. I get that.
Okay. God knows how entirely I'm innocent, but I do not pretend that my protestation should acquit me. I rest my innocence on a plain and simple explanation of the facts which have been adduced against me. And I hope that the character I'm always born.
Hey, don't worry, I'll
She's supposed to be crying. Okay.
Wait, and
I have born.
what? Where?
So she says, and I hope the character I'm
Oh,
always
yeah.
born.
And I hope the character I have always born will incline my judges to favorable interpretation. When any circumstance appears doubtful or suspicious.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
is her defense? For
Only Heavenly Father knows what
Explain.
happened.
Why?
Why?
What is her defense?
Terrible.
Nalawai, what is her defense?
You repent.
It's saying that like God knows that she did do it.
Okay.
Are you?
And she says like, she says, I hope the character of Always Born. So she's always had good character, right? So you'd hope that they'd be like, okay, we know you. You're a good person, right? Good.
Why are you singing?
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay. Okay, guys, we're not singing. What is this? Okay.
Church music.
Okay. Last paragraph on page 55. She then related, by the permission of Elizabeth, she had passed the evening of the night on which the murder had been committed at the house of an aunt at Chenay, a village situated at about a league from Geneva. On her return, about 9 o'clock, she met a man who asked her if she had seen anything of the child who was lost. She was alarmed by this account and passed several hours looking for him, when the gates of Geneva were shut and she was forced to remain several hours of the night in a barn belonging to a cottage, being unwilling to call up the inhabitants to whom she was well known. Most of the night she spent here watching. Towards morning she believed that she slept for a few minutes. Some steps disturbed her. She woke. It was dawn, and she quitted her asylum that she might again endeavor to find my brother. If she had gone near the spot where his body lay, it was without her knowledge. That she had been bewildered when questioned by the market woman was not surprising, since she had passed a sleepless night, and the fate of poor William was yet uncertain. Concerning the picture, she could give no account.
Blake, you're up.
Blake,
Wait.
I know.
I know.
Continue the. Okay, wait. You can do it.
Okay.
I don't want to.
I know how heavily and fatally this one circumstance weighs against me, but I have no power of explaining it, and when I have expressed my utter ignorance, I am only left to conjecture concerning the probabilities by which it might have been placed in my pocket. But here, also I am checked. I believe that I have no enemy on earth, and none surely would have been so wicked as to destroy me wantonly. Did the murder place it there? I know of no opportunity afforded him for doing so. Or if I had, why should he have stolen the jewelry to part with it again so soon? I commit my cause to the justice of my judges, yet I see no room for hope. I beg permission to have a few witnesses examined concerning my character, and if their testimony shall not overweigh my supposed guilt, I must be condemned, although I would pledge my salvation on my innocence. So what's her story?
She was out doing some stuff, and then this guy was like, hey, where's this little dude? And she didn't know, and then she got stuck in a barn.
Yeah, apparently there's like gates to the city, so she got stuck outside the gate and couldn't go in, so she fell asleep in a barn.
In a barn, and then she went back into the city, and then she didn't know where she was born.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
That's
See you
fine.
guys.
Definitely don't money.
Again, this is the third year. What? Yeah.
No, you and me.
Guys, thank you for your portrayals of me.
Hey, we never even did it.
Yes.
I know, we didn't have time today, so.
Okay, I'm a justice next time, remember?
You're dirty, ding dong.
Oh my God.
Wait, can I have my pencil back?
Why do they do? Oh yeah.
Why don't they just go to return day things down early?
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, find it. Stupid. Okay, what are these instructions? Please turn them all.
Really good. We only have an hour in this class, so let's make it as wisdomy as possible. This class is pretty fun, I'm telling you.
Is it like the people in the class or?
The people in the class, there's like 5 guys that always, there's me, Skylar, Malcolm, and Henry, and Christian. We all get into like this big heat argument every single time. Like whenever one of us says something, everybody else raises their hands to contradict it.
That's not the best.
It is the best, because it like
Oh, I
takes,
forgot that was.
our whole class is like
I
practically
videotaped
no
the last class.
worksheets, it's just discussing
Why?
the whole time because it takes forever.
Because I'm a creeper and I want to watch it Friday night.
So yeah.